ladies and gentlemen. Let me just adjust that a little bit. Have to do this from my phone because my laptop is acting up. How you guys doing? Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony Love, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing another live stream and things. I am out and away, but that's okay. Still got to get the show on though until I return back into my normancy in my own place. I'm back in my studio. However, ladies and gentlemen, so today we are going to be talking about, let me see here. Do I look a little dark here? Let me take a look at it here. Um, See if this lighting is pretty good. Coconuts are real says be right back. All right. Okay, there we go. All right. Coconuts are real is here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be talking about President Trump's plan to dismantle, right, the deep state and return the power to the American people. I'm so excited to be talking about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if that will work here. I think that should work right there. Let me see if I can put that up over here and turn that over here. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Coconuts are real. Said he'll, be right back after these messages. We'll be right back. Oops, let me see. I'm trying to get this. Okay, I think we have it here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get into it in a few minutes. But before we do, we got to see what's going on here with Trump in the news. Trump imposes double digits, ladies and gentlemen, tariffs on dozens of countries as as his 10% right levies are set to expire Friday. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about it. President Donald Trump is enacted the new tariffs ranging from 10%, right, up to 12.5% on imports from 60 trading partners that account for roughly 99% of the U.S. imports. Hey, Brian Reedy, how you doing there, sir? Boy, your hat looks so great right now. Look at that member hat. That's what I'm talking about, that member cap, right? Coconuts are real. Brian Reedy, yeah, that is what's going on, man. I love to see that purple MAGA hat, man. It changes colors, though, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go ahead and talk about it, right? So, some 60. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It went from 10. It's going to go from 10% to 12.5% on imports from 60 trade partners that account for roughly 99% of the US market, right? Isn't that something, boy? I tell you, man. 99% of the US market. You guys can, okay, so there that is. Um, all right. Let me see here. Brian Reedy says, Mr. Love, right? Yep, I see you. I see what you're saying there. GTST. Yeah, glad to see you, sir. Glad to see you do it as well too, Brian Reedy. Coconuts are real. Glad to see you guys, though. The administration clarified the double digit duties, right? By claiming the targeted nations having inadequate enforced bans on goods produced with forced labor, right? To implement these new measures, Trump is relying on Section 301, right, for the Trade Act of 1974 after the Supreme Court previously overturn his emergency powers tariffs, right? Future import duties may be coming as the U.S. trade representatives complete the separate probe into 16 countries over the industry, right? Industrial overproduction. So there that is, ladies and gentlemen. Look like Trump is going to be hitting 60 countries with new tariffs. And you know he's not going to hold back on Europe. the Europeans at all, because how they didn't back us in things when we needed these European nations, even though Trump was testing their loyalty, and they have failed miserably. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Who do we have in here? I'm gonna have to thumb up, thumb down. Give me one moment. And things. I'm gonna get on a lot of the comments and things here. Coconuts are real. Hey Dakota. Hey Dakota, welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Ain't we got Angela right in the house? Exactly, coconuts. Black guy 9. He says hit that like button when coming onto the house. Appreciate you subscribing, and I do appreciate you guys for subscribing as well too. Coconuts are real. Tom, why are you here? Then if you okay, why are you here? Then he is a loser? Question mark. All right, addressing someone there. Frankie says, I enjoy your stream, sir. I enjoy you for coming and listening and watching, man. I try to keep it, humorous as well. I do like to entertain as well, though, too. So here that is. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So you know how I do. I love to cook, and I love to physically cook too, But let's get into it. So we're gonna be talking about it, right? Boy, boy, boy. We're going to be talking about the deep state and so forth. So let's go ahead and dive right in. You know what I'm saying? Love the hat. I appreciate it though too. My MAGA, making America great again cap. I appreciate it, Yeah. And coconuts are real saying, hey Frankie, glad that you are here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So here it is, right? So as we get into it, so today we're going to be talking about one of the clearest part of the Agenda 47 is Donald or President Trump's plan to dismantle the deep state, right, and return the power to the American people. This isn't a vulgar talk. This is a specific 10-point plan he laid out. We're going to basically walk it down simply. Trump's core argument is straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the federal government that has been controlled by unaccountable bureaucrats who answer to no one. They targeted political enemies, they leak to the media, they spy on Americans, and they protect their own power, right? The solution is to break that system up and to elect a president, right? And the people who elected him back in charge. And that's what Trump has been doing on this whole ride. We're talking about one day on one day, he reissued the 2020 executive order, right, that restores the president's authority to fire rogue bureaucrats. That is Schedule F. You guys heard me talk about that yesterday. Completely overhaul the federal departments and agencies, especially national security and intelligence. The fire, right, and to fire the corrupt, right, actors who have weaponized them, right? Fundamentally, they reformed the what's it, the FISA courts, so judges can't use rubber stamp or spying based on bad or false information. This is a beautiful thing. This is how we're winning. Create the truth, the reconciliation commission to declassify, right, and to publish all the documents on the deep state. We're talking about spying, censorship, and the abuse of power, though. Isn't that something? Number 5, launch a major crackdown, ladies and gentlemen, on government leakers who collude with the media to push false narratives and the press and criminal charges, right? When appropriate. Number 6, make every inspector general, right, office truly independent from the agencies, right, they oversee. So they stop protecting the system instead of policing it. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Number 7, right, set up an independent auditing, right, system that consistently monitors, right, the intelligence agencies to stop them from spying on American citizens or running disinformation campaigns, right? Number 8, move large parts of federal bureaucracies out of Washington D.C. up to 100,000 government jobs into real Americans, just like Trump moved the Bureau of Land Management to Chicago. I mean, I'm sorry, to Colorado. Number nine, ban the revolving door. Stop federal bureaucracies from regulating companies one day, then taking high paid jobs, ladies and gentlemen. This is another thing at those same companies to the next. Number 10, push a constitutional amendment, right? For term limits on members in Congress so we stop having permanent career politicians, right? That's the plan. That's the plan, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about firing the unaccountable, exposing the abuse, moving powers out of the swamp in the revolving door, right? And put term limits on Congress, right? These are the things that Trump ran on, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to explore Schedule F, executive orders details, right? It's a beautiful thing, though. See, this is what we mean about taking the power away. Trump said it. He said, "I'm going to take the power away from who? The what we're talking about, the government, and give it back to the hands of the people because it should have been there all the time." Isn't that a beautiful thing, boy? You know what I'm saying? So let's dive in further of how Trump's plan to shatter the deep state and return power to the American people, right? He says, "I will shatter the deep state and restore government that has control that was or had that has controlled by the people, President Donald J. Trump. We're going to clean, he said it, cleaning out the deep state. President Trump has announced a 10-point plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim the democracy from Washington's corrupt, right? This is basically what it is. So I already read this already, ladies and gentlemen, but let's go and dive in a little deeper. We're talking about the fire rogue bureaucrats and career politicians. This is exactly what we voted for. We voted for this. We do not need rogue bureaucrats or let's say what we call career politicians, right? People that have been in there for eons. We didn't sign up for that. President Trump's plan will ensure that the federal bureaucrats and politicians are held accountable to the American people, which they should. And we want to hold these people, all these people should be held accountable for what they have done. These are years and years of lying to the people, stealing tax dollar from the American people, wasting fraud, enriching themselves, right? This is, and also weaponizing the political parties and things like that to go after other groups. We saw this with Trump. We never seen this stuff before, right? And this is what we're talking about. Trump is allowing this to happen to a point. This is why he allowed Biden to get in there. He wasn't a president, he was the resident. There's a big difference. And he allowed him to overthrow the government so they can have the goods on these guys, ladies and gentlemen. And that's exactly what they did. Trump and his administration allowed Joe Biden and his people to overtake the government. And this is what they did, right? With the help of Obama and all the rest of them, right? Currently removing the corrupt or poor performing federal workers, right? As the time consuming and the cumbersome, right? Firing underperforming employees take a year or longer or often completely impossible. This is basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is. Shrinking of government, right? There it is, targeting government corruption. President Trump's plan is the corrupt that has purged, right, or plagued our federal government and harmed people, or which is Americans. And this is exactly what ended up happening. When Biden administration has weaponized, right, the FBI and the DOJ to target conservatives, Christians, and their own and their political enemies. And we know that this is to be true because we all saw it, right? They cannot hide from the truth. And this is one of the main things. These thugs, these criminals that do not work on behalf of the American people, but they are the enemies of American people, right? A leak and since withdrawal FBI memos recently revealed that the FBI agents were liking, right? I'm sorry, lacking traditional Catholic or domestic terror. This is exactly what it is. Look at it. Bureaucrats from FBI's and DHS directly colluded with social media companies during the 2020 election to censor American speech. You guys remember that? There was a lot of conservatives that was being deplatformed off of Twitter and YouTube and TikTok. There was a lot of other ones, right? That was going on. You guys seen it. Some of you guys may have had a channel before, but it was been deplatformed. Even our favorite president that we all know and love, which is the greatest president ever, which is Donald J. Trump, when they kicked him off of you already know, used to be old Twitter. We've seen this. There was conservatives that was debanked, right? If you was a conservative and you bank with Capital One and some of these other ones, you were being debanked, right? Look at it, Chase. You were being debanked, right? I think it was Bank of America. I think it was quite a few of them. You were being debanked, right? Because they're letting you know there was these radical DSA people. See, at the time they were still hiding until they got themselves in a position. These are the same people that are revealing themselves today. They're showing their face, which we call the Democrat Socialists of America, right? They're getting their people in position with the help of Bernie Sanders, right? So this is basically what it is, right? Because they figure that the way that we can overtake America is within, right? We'll have people from other countries and put them in key positions, right? So they can go out here, cause havoc, change policy, and so forth. And this is what it is. This is what was going on until one man that came around, which is Trump. This is exactly what's going on with this stuff. Boy, I tell you, man, if somebody had to come, the Justice Department, we're talking about the inspectors, right, general, found that in their applications, what is it called? The FISA warrants, right? The FISA warrants and the FBI made 17 significant errors, right, in omission. Look at this. We're talking about the Justice Department. We're talking about the Inspector General found that central piece of evidence, right, and the FISA warrants, right, relied on was it opposition, right, research to Clinton's campaign. This stuff is huge, ladies and gentlemen. An FBI lawyer admitted that he forged an email in an attempt to ensure that the Obama Biden administration was spying on Trump's campaign through the FISA warrant could continue. This is exactly what it is. What was the transcript? It says, here is my here is my plan to dismantle the deep state and to reclaim the democracy from Washington's corrupt once and for all. And the corruption it is, right? First, we will immediately, right, reissue my 2020 executive order to restore the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Trump said this because a lot of us watched that, right? Secondly, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our nation or in our national security, our intelligence apparatus, right? And there will be plenty of them, right? The department of agencies that have been weaponized, ladies and gentlemen, and will be completely overhauled so that the faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and pursue or what's that conservatives, Christians, or the left political enemies, right? Which they are doing right now at the level that no one can believe ever possible. This is what was going on, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is what was going on. Third, I would totally reform the FISA courts, right? This is another thing that's important, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to the warrant application. So many judges, right? And we're seeing that right now. We got these rogue judges, ladies and gentlemen. We have this corruption. We have these radical ass judges, right? So there that is, though. Boy, I tell you, this is the thing right here, ladies and gentlemen, that to my detractors and a lot of haters of conservatives, man, they are losing their grip on reality and they're losing their grip on power. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing about it. We're talking about the higher ups, man, because if you don't adhere to the American people, these all these people, all these bureaucrats and so forth, right? We have ones I went over that before. There are a lot of unelected bureaucrats are running nation be who these players. About time to hear who actually be move their they have their position of and just they n- right, when it comes to American they made the American n- last, but they treated the American people like a doormat, right? A doormat to the world, right? While they were robbing and stealing money from the American people. Over here, over bloated government. They don't create government anyway. We already know Biden never created an economy whatsoever, right? Because it's easy when you just have people in there and stuff like that. So there that is. Let me take a look at my chats here, though, man. Um, let's take a look at it here. Ooh, boy, boy, boy. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anything. Do I have to scroll up a little bit? Let me see here. Random say release the Epstein files. Coconuts are real. Coconuts are real. Let me see here. Let me see here. I'm just want to see something for a moment. Hold on for a minute. Let me see. He says this guy believes that the FBI who advocates for Trump with a dunce. What a dunce. Let me see here. Hey, coconuts are real, man. I'm looking at some of the people. Like I said before, they can say some of these things, call me dunce, call me crazy, call me. It's just that we don't want them. You know what I'm saying? We don't want these people because we don't want these people cussing, swearing, and things like that. I'm over here reading the comments and stuff. Let me see here. Uh, what is who is this here? Winnie the Poop Pup says, feeling white might vote for Trump later. Why did he get blocked? Might vote for Trump later. Why did he get blocked? Coconuts are real. He said, feeling white might vote for Trump. I don't see that being block worthy because right now I'm able to see this stuff here. So let's go ahead and get these people unblocked, man. Don't block them for that. Coconuts are real. Go ahead and unblock them, please. Unblock these people, man. What's his name? KOACH7779. That don't deserve to be blocked. Go ahead and block him from that. And Winnie the Pub. Yeah, Winnie the Pub. He says, I'm feeling white, might vote for Trump. That's not worthy of being blocked. So go ahead and unblock them for those two, please. I appreciate it. Go and unblock those two. They don't need to be blocked. Like I said before, we only blocking people if they're cussing, using racial slurs, right? Stuff like this should not be blocked. Come on now, and things. I'm giving you the power now. Coconuts are real, so that don't need to be pop blocked. Winnie has switched now after he said he was a pedo. Oh, he did say that. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Winnie the Pooh said these people calling switches. Hey, let me see it. Winnie the Pub. Let me talk to you for a minute, man. Uh, like I said, we give you a chance. You know what I'm saying? Um, if he's over here calling Trump a pedo, they all calling Trump a pedo. You ain't gonna. I won't have a channel left if you keep doing that one. That ain't that ain't enough for me to block them. Shit, I've been looking at that all the time. We know that these Trump derangement people. Remember I said they just can't be swearing or using anything like racial slurs, you know? Trump is a big boy, man. We ain't got to block that. You know what I'm saying? Coconuts are real. He said, "Tony, you're fading out." Let me see here. Am I fading out? Hold on for a minute. Let me take a look at it here. Says here I'm still connected though to my I'm using this one here. He said I'm fading out. Can you hear me now? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me now. Let me scroll up a little bit. Yep. Can you hear me now? How is it TDS when the topic is about Trump? Yeah, don't like I said, he has a right to have an opinion. All we saying is that we just don't want you cussing, swearing, and using racial slurs. And I didn't see him do that. That's all I'm saying. All this other stuff, yeah, it ain't worth to block him or whatever. I wouldn't have a show. You know what I'm saying? But if we did that, you know what I'm saying? I already tried that before and I didn't have a show. I appreciate it, Coconuts. I removed that racial slur. Tony, not block anymore. Okay. All right, there we go. I appreciate the I already know. I appreciate the let me go and put a thing there. Put a like right there. Coconuts are real. All right, no problem, man. I appreciate it. All right. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's go further down though. So now that we're talking about this stuff, let me see. Did I miss anyone else over here looking at the chat? Let me see here. Israel owns America. Not true. Let me see here. And before blah blah. Anytime you say anything bad about Trump, it's TDS, bro. No, no. You can like I said before. This is not an echo chamber. That's what I'm basically been saying. People come in here with TDS stuff all the time. That don't get you blocked. What gets you blocked is if you're swearing, cussing, and using slur and threats of violence. That's the only thing that gets people, blocked. He said Trump is a puppet of Zionism. We done heard this stuff a lot, but they don't have any proof at all. Trump is his own man. Plus, he controls Vladimir Putin, not the other way around, though. That's the thing about it. So let me see here. Lynn says, dude said he was going to cut utility bills in half. He said no new wars. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Let's just get with Lynn real quick. This is not a new war with Iran. I said this yesterday. This is a war. We've been at war with Iran, right? Let's just tell the truth. You have Iranians that can get out of Iran coming over here to America. They gave them amnesty coming over here, They came over here as refugees and so forth, right? Why? Because we were still with 47-year-old war that the other presidents, Lynn, did not take care of when it came down to Iran, right? These other presidents, and you know them, they allowed this ish to happen. And who started that war in the first place was Jimmy Carter. Let's go ahead and be real, right? If they would have took care of business, we wouldn't. There's no way in the world we should have a 47-year-old war. But they did it for this. And a lot of people, that's what I'm saying, man. It's unnecessary. People that don't know their facts, they think that Trump just went out here and started this war. It's not true. The war been going on. Trump is ending it. And it's going to take some time to end it, but he is ending the war, not starting the war. There's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So, it said been gone on since Carter administration. You're absolutely correct, though, Anthony. What about that beheading of about that American and so forth? All this stuff could have been shut down, right? Carter, Jimmy Carter, y'all know teeth smiling Jimmy Carter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. This thing should have been nipped in the bud. The question would be, why did it have to take 47 years? That's the question. Why? Why 47 years? Right? What was wrong with their administrations? What was wrong with Biden's administration, which is basement Obama? What was wrong with Obama's administration or the Bush's administration, right? What was wrong with these people, right? What was wrong with them? The question is, why didn't they shut them down? They ain't like they didn't have the power of the military, but they did not. Trump had to do it, right? Trump had to shut the Iranian government down. We're talking about you already know, right? The supreme leaders, and he had to shut these people down. And like he's going to shut them all down because they don't do anything to help us out at all. They are really our true enemy, and we're seeing that. You know what I'm saying? We really are. So I appreciate the super jive from coconuts are real. I appreciate it. Thank you, though. Let me see here. Let me see here. What else we have here? Let me see here. Let me just read some more. Mr. Biden was a Mega, and also Donnie Boy. Let me see here. Lynn says, okay, they were not stupid enough to get into this mess. Donnie was. What you mean stupid enough to not get into this mess? Don't you you don't I mean we're looking at it at the whole thing, right? These people with the Iran, they I believe I'm just saying for my see that's weak though, Lynn. That's weak and you know it, right? That's weak. Because ever since the Ayatollahs, and we can say this, they got in power. This was the guy, the Shah of Iran. Y'all know his name, right? They overthrew him, and what did they do? You know, what did they do? Right? Because they put in a new, and we know that, maybe it will come out where they had to have help in order to overthrow a regime, right? And then they put these people in, right? I'm talking about the Ayatollahs. Look at what's been going on ever since. It ain't just there was a at war you know they became an enemy and they were created to be an enemy in my opinion, and we're seeing that right now, right? We're seeing that. Obama didn't do anything better with that policy at all. When you're giving money to our enemies, they were giving money. Think about it. They were giving money back then under smiling Jimmy Carter. And then Obama, what did he do? Gave him a total, look at this, $1.7 billion for them to what? Buy weaponry, drones, missiles, the whole deal, man. No wonder there was a force to be that couldn't be reckoned with in the Middle East, right? And this was done purposely because they were the watchdog of who? The deep state as well as the parasitical elite class. It really is. Uh-huh. That money was frozen and released, you stupid fuck. Hey, Jeremy, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me just put that right there. Hey, Jeremy, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me talk to you for a minute. See, you can tell when people get triggered, right? And Jeremy, you got triggered, right? I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna have you to refrain on what you did, right? See, you cause I can't help it because you got triggered, right? I can't help it because you get triggered. You triggered now. Why you triggered, right? Why you triggered? I'm not triggered. Why you triggered? Right? So this is the thing though, man. They don't answer questions. They come in this room, right? What to deep state, you clown. Here it is too. Let them go ahead and do it. Let them go in and talk it. Let them go ahead and do this because see, I defeat their purpose, their points. Because they're nothing but cowards. See, anything about it when they hide behind avatars, you know what I'm saying? How big of a boy are you though? I may call this guy out. How big of a boy are you, Jeremy? How big of a boy are you? And that's for the rest of you. How big of a boy are you? Hey, Dakota, are you a boy or a girl? Yeah, let me see. Magic says, go to the dentist. Yeah, you're gonna like my teeth, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I know I got you though, Magic, because here it is. They can talk about, you know, things about me, which names never hurt me, but they cannot deal with what we're talking about here. That's the thing. See, they're triggered and hurt, aren't you? Oh, you triggered and hurt. Uh-huh, Winnie the pub says too, I'm actually bigger than that though. So yeah, I want to know how big of a boy are you? So you up here, and I ain't talking about Winnie the pub, not you. I'm talking about the other dude. Not you, Winnie the Pooh. I'm talking about for Jeremy. I'm talking about this sissy boy, right? Soy boy of a man that get on the internet and hide his face, right? Look at him. You just a coward though, Jeremy. That's what you are, man. You are a coward, and that's why I say I mean, like I said, I'm not hurt about what you have to say. At least I'm not hiding. You see my face, right? But the thing about it, Jeremy, you's a coward. You don't, and many of you that are coward, you don't show your face. You don't put your face on the avatars. You coming over here being big and bad on the keyboard, right? Anybody can do that. Boy, I tell you, man. So I play with you if you want. If you want to play, let's play. It's up to you. He said he got that hat free. Look at him. Yeah, Jeremy, you know what I'm saying? You hurt. You got triggered and you hurt, man. Right? Like I said, I'm unapologetic when it come down to supporting Trump. I support Trump every single day. This is a MAGA or whoever else that want to come over here and talk about Trump's policies. Obviously, you don't have a channel because you're a coward. You don't have the skills. You're not charismatic, nor are you funny, right? Because you got to have thick skin on here dealing with this type of stuff. And obviously, you're not, and plus, here it is again. I've been doing this for a while, man. So there that is. I have mods in my room. I have people that rock with your boy over here, back me up. My subscriber count is steady growing, which is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful thing. Steady growing, though. And I appreciate you guys, man, because we don't apologize to these soy boys. And like I said, they are butthurt, they are angry, and they're frustrated, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, let it rip because I can take it. See, that's the thing about it, though. I can take it. They can't. They are hurt. Look at them, boy. Nothing but a bunch of pansies and soy boys. But like I said, we got to go back to the show. Like I said, I ain't going to derail from that. I do the cooking much later, though. You know what I'm saying? I do the cooking much later, man. It's crazy that people are pro-black until you put the real red hat on. He said pro. He said crazy that people is pro-black. Yeah, I put the real red hat on, which most of them are cowards. They won't do it. Only 27% of MAGA forever supporters in this war. What you mean? See, that's another lie too. That's not true. Dakota says no because your cowardly ass ain't answer ain't answer what a woman is. A woman is loser. Oh man, they got a little war going on right there. Oh my goodness, man, this is so funny and comical, man. Listen, I understand why you support Trump because you dropped out of blah 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 blah. Hey Jeremy, I'm doing pretty good for myself with my channel steady growing. I'm over here happy. You're frustrated, you know. You can be doing something constructive too, but you don't. You come in here, try to disrupt, try to criticize, and try to put downs and takedowns. Listen, I've been called every name in the book, and with you, I can be uneducated. I can be everything that you say. Does it make it true? No. Why do I have to sit up here and fight and argue with you? Because you ain't talking about nothing. You know, that's what I say. Magic is butt hurt. Jeremy is butt hurt. Lynn is butt hurt. We know who the people in this room is butt hurt. And then when they will say hustler. Man, hustler. Oh my goodness. So you talking about the hustlers, right? Al Sharpton, right? TD Jakes. We go in and name who the hustlers are, you know. Boy, I tell you. Let's see here. Randy says Canada isn't a real country. Wilco, you know. No, Randy, yeah, Canada. I don't Canada, because we already know 80% of the people that live along the border, right, which is equivalent to the state of California, right? Because those other inhabited areas that they don't live in, right? Canada is pretty much of like we said before, no disrespect to the Canadian people, but they got some problems over there because they're not really producing for their own. They've been living off of America for quite a long time. Trump has exposed, right, what their government and Mark Carney and all the rest of them have been doing, right? This is exactly what it is. So now that things have changed, the power has changed, right? Canada is in the process, man. If they're not careful, man, whoo, man, they're gonna be in serious, serious trouble. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. So let me see here, though. So while we talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been a beautiful thing, though, how Trump with the Schedule F is planning has already been taking down the deep state, man, which is a beautiful thing. We're talking about draining the swamp. What did he say? Trump said his plan is to dismantle the deep state and return the power to the American people. Isn't that a beautiful thing? This was his core argument, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Trump's core argument has been straightforward. The federal government has become controlled by unaccountable bureaucrats who answer to no one, like we said earlier, right? This is stuff they don't want to talk about, and we're talking about it. They target what? Political enemies, leak to the media, spy on Americans, and protect their own power. The solution is to break that system and put the elected president and the people who elected him back in charge. And that's exactly what ended up happening, right? This is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I say we have the leverage because we back strong leadership, which is President Donald J. Trump. This is a lot of reasons why I wear the MAGA hat, right? Because it looks good and it look good. It's beautiful, isn't it? Got the flag over here. Look at that, man. 45 and 47, man. I wear it very proudly, though. I really do, right? And it pisses off my detractors and the enemies of this country, right? And this is what it is. Don't it look good at crimson red? It actually has Donald Trump's signature. Right? Look at that, boy. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get the other MAGA hat too. I got a collection of some of them that's gonna be coming, man. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, ain't that something, man? Yep. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically what it is, right? We're talking about one day, right? One day. It's on one day on Trump's first day, right? He reissued the 2020 executive order that restores the president's authority to fire rogue bureaucrats. That's Schedule F. How you like them apples there, huh? Hey, Jeremy, how you like them apples, huh? Hey, Jeremy, number two, completely overhaul the federal departments and agencies, especially national security and intelligence, and to fire the corrupt actors who have weaponized them. Hey, Jeremy and the gang, Jeremy and the Funky Bunch, how you like that, huh? This is what true leadership is. This is what we voted for, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we have, you know. This is what it is, though. And I appreciate you guys for listening to your boy, you know. We are unapologetic when it come down to supporting Donald J. Trump. Unapologetic, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they're so angry and mad, especially Jeremy. He got triggered. He was upset, foaming at the mouth, hiding behind the avatar. Boy, I tell you. Number three, right? The fundamentally right reform the FISA courts so the judges can't just rubber stamp spying based on bad or false information. This is how you know we're winning, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that the people over here on the left, boy, I tell you, man, this voter fraud, all this stuff is being cleaned up, right? The voter rolls, we are winning, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing, all the policies that Trump has been doing, all of the executive orders, right? They tried to roadblock, they tried to stop, but Trump just keep coming like a Mack truck. You can't stop a Mack truck, you know what I'm saying? Or a tank, you know? Create the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all of the documents on deep state spying, censorship, and the abuse of power, man. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Don't you just love that, Jeremy? Jeremy just love that. Aren't you? I'm proud to be an American. Right? That's it. Boy, at least that I can be free. Right? That's the thing about it though. And this is how we're winning. Boy, I tell you, magic, don't you just love it? It ain't magic. It's just real, you know? You hide behind magic. We hide behind reality, right? Look at this. Number five, right? Launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the media to push false narratives. It's like what they're doing in this room right now. And to press criminal charges when appropriate. So this is what we call taking back America, ladies and gentlemen. We finally have a president, commander in chief, a fearless leader that's carrying out an agenda. You ain't stopping nothing. Trump is just steady bulldozing through the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is barely on life support, right? Their party got overtaken by radical commies, right? This is why people like John Fetterman is process of leaving. We also have Bill Maher that's in the process of leaving. There's other people, you know what I'm saying? Van Jones tried to champion for you guys forever, you know? Van Jones can't even have that. I don't even like these guys, but we know it's bad when these guys can't even say that they're Democrats no more. Who's running around here these days calling himself a Democrat, right? To call yourself a Democrat, you may as well call yourself a communist traitor today, right? Because they allow, right, these commies to come into their party and overtake it. Meaning being a Democrat today means nothing. It's crap, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it, man. And they know they don't have nothing, man. Germany don't have anything. Magic don't have anything. We go right down the list. We just study steamrolling these people, right? All this stuff about pedo, it's not affecting us. We over here chilling. We over here watching y'all make a fool out of yourself, right? And we go over here talking about what Trump is doing to give great pushback against these leaders in America who want to take over in the say anything. You know, I ran scared said, oh my man, uh, maybe in there just all agents they so they stop protecting the system instead of policing it. Boy, ain't that something though, man? Ladies and gentlemen. What else, right? Number seven, set up an independent auditing system that consistently monitors the intelligence agencies to stop them from spying on American citizens, right? By running a disinformation campaign. And that's another thing though, too. This is how we know that we have somebody in true leadership who cares enough and loves America and the American people. The Democrats, KKK rats, they can't even say that, right? They don't have a history of it at all. They have a history of being anti-American. Their party got overtaken by commies now. They are losing like never before. That's why I'm just over here laughing at them. This is why they have to pick or call people out their names. I have not one time called people out their name. You know what? I don't have to. Because we stand on facts over here. They stand on feelings and opinions. Ain't that something? Boy, I tell you. It's just really, really sad, though. It's really sad that these people come into this room. We don't have to battle with these guys. They're already, they gooses cooked anyway. When the day that Mondummy, Comrade Mondummy, and all the rest of them, they're going to be ousted right out of power, man. I see it already. Number eight, move large parts of federal bureaucracies out of Washington, right? Look at that, Washington, D.C. We're talking about up to 10,000 government jobs into real America, just like Trump moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, because he know in Washington they were so corrupt there. Trump knows what he's doing. Because that's what you have to do sometimes. You got to move these, and that's why I say we need what well, I'm gonna say. We got a lot of MAGA. We got a lot of people that are patriots of America, and they're not going to sell America out. But these bad actors, these liars, these criminals that they put in office, they slowly being removed, ladies and gentlemen. Number nine, ban the revolving door to stop federal bureaucrats from regulating companies one day and then taking high-paying jobs at those same companies to the next, right? Oh my goodness. So we're gonna stop all this stuff is already being stopped. We're talking about push a constitutional amendment, right, for term limits, because we really need this. We need it in the Senate and we need it in Congress, right? No longer, right? And that's one thing about it. We got to push for this to actually be an amendment. Instead of 27, we need a 28. What is it? 16th Amendment needs to be redrawn as well too, right? Because we don't need a central bank, which is the Federal Reserve, controlling our when it come down to the monetary system. We don't need that. What we need is the way the Constitution said, how the U.S. Mint, the U.S. Treasury is the only thing that's supposed to mint. Right, we're talking about gold and silver, backed by gold and silver and things. The way that they just got it set up right now, and that's what Trump is also in the process of dismantling, ladies and gentlemen. We got to put term limits on this. We don't need senators more than 6 years, is what I say. And a congressman, I would say probably no more than 4 years. We don't need these these senators, they corrupt. Look at them. Bernie Sanders is corrupt, right? Look at Chuck Schumer, corrupt, right? We got Messy Thomas, Messy Massey, and all the rest of them. We don't need this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Buffoon, the Thune, the buffoon, and all the rest of them, right? We don't need these people. Stand in Congress for eons, man. It's embarrassing, and it's just they don't do anything to help the American people. They just study and enrich themselves. They're all are millionaires, and that's why they take the emphasis off of millionaires and they put the emphasis on billionaires, man. Right? So there that is. This plan, right, fires the unaccountable exposes the abusers, right, or abuse. We're talking about move the power out of the swamp, right? That's another thing, and end the revolving door and put term limits on Congress. This is what we have voted for. This is what we're going to get. Baby gets what baby wants, right? And that's exactly what it is, though, you know. See, the thing about it is that we know things that I have read. This is what this is where the problem has been happening, right? Because none of their policies serve the will of the American people. It served their best interest, right? This is why they can have these fictitious jobs, take money from these super PACs and donors, right? And send their children to these fictitious jobs where they never worked a day in their life, but they can make millions of dollars and stuff like that. So this is all this crap is coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. And they know it. This is why they're pushing back against Trump, because Trump is stopping the corruption, right? He's going to make it where, once again, he said it, I'm taking the power from government and giving it back to the hands of the people where it should have been all this time. So that's the thing about it, boy. But the thing about it, they can't stop the MAGA thing. They come in here and try, but that's why I keep trying to say coconuts are real and all the rest of my mods and all the rest of them, man. We already know they don't answer questions. You see how triggered they are, right? They come in here, name call. Is it stopping my mission? No. My mission is steady going on. That's one thing I learned about Trump. We keep pushing the mission, right? The mission. This is what exactly what it is. We all have a role here, man. MAGA is too powerful and too strong, right? Even the what's his name, Tucker Carlson, right, couldn't stop it. Tokyo Rose, Megan Kelly couldn't stop it. You know what I'm saying? You even had, Candace, Big Mouth Owens couldn't stop it, right? Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, none of them couldn't stop it. All they were doing is pushing this Jew sentiment, and it just did not, it just blew up in their face. They tried, but it failed, right? We are still here. They say Trump was controlled by Israel. They say Israel is pulling all the strings in America, right? Look at what Trump has been doing, cleaning up the corruption here in America. Boy, ain't it a beautiful thing though? We are winning and they are losing. That's all we need to know, right? Because look at it. Oh man. He says he blocked people now. He blocked people now. Um, here's my rules to get blocked. Here's my rules where you don't want to get blocked. First of all, you can't do no swearing and cussing, right? That's the first thing, right? That is the first thing, you know. Now I went back on my rules a little bit about you can't assault the host. But I said to myself, what difference does it make if they insult the host? I'm not bothered by it, right? Number two, no racial slurs, right? At all. You know what I'm saying? We won't tolerate it here, and not fair for the other people that listen to the chat, right? What's another rule though, too? Even though I always ask the question, right? And they don't answer it, right? And this is very, very disingenuous, right? Because what we're talking about here, talking about how Trump has taken back America. And not only that, it's to help with the patriots, right? And this is why they can't stop it. That's why they all hurt and butt hurt and all this other stuff. If I had my sound effects right now, I would play them. In fact, I think I do. Wait a moment. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull them up. You know what I'm saying? I just want you guys to really, really see and understand, right? That MAGA America, America First policies. I'm walking this thing all the way down to the midterms because it's just around the corner, guys, and it's pretty obvious as to what we're doing right now. It's a beautiful thing, though, isn't it? Boy, I tell you, man. Beautiful, beautiful thing. That's what I'm saying. So, guys, for y'all coming on, where's my thing at here? I got to put up my, let me see here. Boy, this thing is lagging so bad. Let me see here. This thing is lagging so bad. Uh-huh. It's lagging so bad. That's okay though. It's lagging so bad. But one thing I'm gonna say is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to pull up my things here. What is this? Hold on for a minute. Let me pull that turn that up. There we go. Y'all got, yeah, you can hear it now. All right, let's see. Yeah, they pulled that up here. I got some of my sounds though. We got over here. Let me see here. I got to talk about Winnie the pub. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, you got that right though. I got my sound effects though. I know you guys heard that, boy. Ain't that something? Beta, yeah. Where my crybaby sound at? You guys know y'all love my crybaby sound, man. Where's my crybaby at? Cause I see a lot of crying on here, man. And then something, all this crying. Where my crybaby at? Hold on for a minute, guys. I was looking for my crybaby sound. That's the one that made me famous, man. Hold on for a minute. Where's my crybaby at? Do I have my crybaby sound? Boy, you are a cutest little baby face. Baby face. I know, right? Boy, I tell you, man. Boy, this is just so funny. The clown hour. I support that hat. Just me, I appreciate you, man, supporting that hat. I really do, man. I wear it proudly, man. We got Michael Johnson, man, and I don't see Mud Butter. Where you at, Mud Butter? I don't see Mud Butter at all, man. And Mud Butter is like a professional troller. I've seen him on several other people's show. You know what I'm saying? Mud Butter. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, Mud Butter. Mud Butter, yeah. He may be coming up in here, man. Cool Cat says, American Patriots, please double tap that screen. Please subscribe now. We need to stop this cooked blue government that are trying to destroy democracy and our economy. I'll take it a step further because now we are going back to a constitutional republic. We are no longer under mob rules, but do what Cool Cat suggests. You know what I'm saying? Should I pin that? I mean, actually go ahead and pin that. It's one thing about it. Yep, I can actually pin that. So therefore, I did pin it. And I like what you're saying there, Cool Cat. So yeah, there's Mud Butter in here. Yeah, Mud Butter. Yeah, I done seen him on many other channels and things. We got some professionals, man. Have you been on Brian Craig's show lately, Mud Butter? I tell you. Let me see here. Let me see here. Um, Jesse Johnson. Who you? You ain't Jesse Johnson. He said Jesse. What is you? Prince band Jesse Johnson? Nah, that ain't Jesse Johnson. But he says you are going. Okay, you're going lose the. Oh man, it's bad grammar. What he's trying to say is that what he's trying to say is that you're going to lose the midterms. So get ready, Republicans and the white Donald Trump fans like you. Yeah, Jesse Johnson thinks that these low down Democrat commies are going to win in the midterms because we're taking away the cheating apparatus. Haven't you read the news? Haven't you seen how we have the voter rolls and mail-in ballot stuff? We have that with the what is that the post office and all the rest of that stuff. Haven't you watched the news? How you because we already know with the lowdown Conrad demo commies, they have to have a cheating apparatus in order to win. This is how they were winning all this time, right? You know what I'm saying? But they have to cheat to do it, right? This is what the American first. We like I said though, goose is cooked, man. You know what I'm saying? Goose is cooked. It's not going to happen. Because, like I said, Trump and the MAGA, the people have already spoken. We are not going to allow you to overtake our elections anymore. You did that with Biden, right? You have done that with Biden. You try to do that. Look at what's happened. You try to do that with Hillary. I mean, I'm sorry, with crooked Kamala Harris, and you still lost, right? We still lost. Now that we have taken away the cheating apparatus, and we did it with Kamala, and we're going to do it again, right? So, like it is in the midterms, we are going to kick your you know what. Cool Cat says to all true American patriots, please double tap in the screen and once again, please subscribe. Now tell your family and friends and loved ones we need your support now. And I like what you're saying, and I really appreciate that, Cool Cat. You're a cool cat, I tell you, man. We got censored sergeant. Commies paid $2 to $5 for Democrats votes in California. You're absolutely right about that. This is all not this crap here that they got going on. And they mad, ladies and gentlemen. They mad when they come in this room. More y'all come in this room, my subscriber count goes up, up, up because we are showing them that we are not in a cult. They are. The small percent, they always have been a small percent. Now that their power has been challenged and diminished, right? This is why they are a laughing joke, a laughing stock. And like I said, any man that called himself a liberal, well, soy boy, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody threatening on no damn soy boy. I tell you, soy boy. Too much soy. Boy, I tell you. What the? Let me see if I can pull up my sound effects again. But I really enjoy you guys for coming on because we just have been having a great old time roasting these old feminine, soft, wussy boys, sissy boys that sit up in here like they have it going on in America. They really don't. They are what we call the laughing stock of America. And it's sad, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad. They don't have anything because if they had anything, they wouldn't waste their time coming in this room trying to attack people. But this is what they do, right? And like I said, what is it? This is just a joke. It's a joke, boy. That's what I just say, man. If I was able to run the Democratic fraud squad today, I really would, man. These are people, man, that are butthurt, angry, frustrated because they know Trump is winning. He's been kicking their behind for quite some time. No matter how many people you send in this room, we are not faltering. We will not resist. We will not fall down, be upset, have pushback, steady going through. Fight, fight, fight. This is what Trump have showed America. Fight, fight, fight. Remember he put that fist up after the assassination attempt? That was badass, ladies and gentlemen. Fight, fight, fight. That's what we got to do, boy. And when you see all these guys in here, these are beta males, right? The beta males on the left, man. The ones that are what? Don't have a woman in their life. What else do they have going on? Incels, right? Losers, right? Oh my goodness. That's why they come in this room. You think we're gonna be upset with some beta male, what's that, and so forth, man? Oh man. Boy, I tell you, it's sad though, too, ladies and gentlemen. These are people, right, that can't seem to get a grip on life, right? Boy, I tell you, and I appreciate you guys for rocking with your boy. These people right here have a serious problem, right? Jesse Johnson, boy, that's why you got blocked, man. We got you blocked for about 60 seconds. Maybe they'll come back acting right. Probably not. Probably not. Bumblebee Filler says, I'm alpha. I roll myself in chocolate. What the heck? Boy, and marshmallow to feel like a s'more. Oh my goodness. Laughing my ass off. You wish you were me. Oh my goodness. No respecting male would ever call himself an alpha. Talking about he rolled himself up in chocolate and marshmallows. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Um, is this supposed to be intimidating? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Oh man. Google said was it Michael Johnson says Google communism and you will have an answer. You guys are communists. You're trying to play it off. This is a soft pedal word, which is socialism, right? But you are because nothing that y'all have ever did have stopped. You think we're gonna just sit up here and take some type of lesson, a school lesson about socialism and communism? When it come down to you guys, you are all of the same, man. A leopard never changed his spots ever, and that's the thing I have learned. These old square Democrats, right? You think sit up here, then we going to allow you to get up and teach what communism is already the our argument communism. We're not why my my scam whereas see these are What's the name? Conrad Chevalier, right? Oh my goodness, man. Uh, uh. They are so intimidated. They are so intimidated, right? Oh my goodness. We have been running, let's say we have been winning under the Trump, right? Policies, man. And they can't stop it. They can't stop it. Now, Sister Sergeant says the destruction of the America will be my greatest achievement. Let me see here. Destruction of America. Wait a moment. Destruction of America will be my greatest achievement. George Soros. Yep, that's exactly what he said. George Soros, right? Because he's an enemy of America, right? Cool Cat says always pray for peace of Israel, the holy land of our Lord Jesus Christ. Christian Bible always tell us to defend Israel. God, Israel. Yeah, that's the thing about that, boy. That is the thing about that. We're defending not just them, but anybody that is innocent that have been overtaken by corruption and tyranny. Coconuts are real says you are breaking up, Tony. You might need a better spot. Okay, hold on for one moment. Let me see here. Let's see, let's turn this off. Because I can project my voice even further. Can you hear me now? Am I still breaking up? Let me know. Am I still breaking up right now? Mm-hmm. Are you a local driver on the road? Yeah, I'm a driver on the road. You got that right, man. You got that right. Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sound good. Sound good. Since the sergeant said I sound good, Dakota said I sound good. Jeremy, you sound good. Brian Reedy said it sounds good. Okay, yep. All right, we'll just roll with this one though. And I appreciate you guys as well, man. I appreciate people coming into the chat. You know how we do, because this whole thing is about America, man. Protecting America and safeguarding our what? Freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else, right? Nowhere else in the world are we gonna be able to have these types of freedom, right? If you let us listen to these old Lion Conrad commies that come up in here talking all this ish, we won't even have a country now, man. And that's the thing about it. We are giving the Conrad Democrat commies a major, major hell of a pushback, right? Because the people aren't going for it. Look at Mondummy. Every time he opened up his damn mouth, he shows how intelligent he really is, right? If he knew any better, right? But here's the thing. Trump is the GOAT. This is what Black Guy 9 saying. Trump is the GOAT. Trump is the truth. One man, right? And the will to protect, to stand up against opposition, man. He took on the deep state. He took on the parasitical global elites. Look at what ended up happening, man. Trump has been winning. They've been trying to get Trump. They've been trying to take Trump down. But Trump said, fight, fight, fight. Man, ain't that a beautiful thing? That's what we have. That's what I learned from Trump. We got to keep pushing. We will never stop. We will never give up. We will fight, fight, fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We all are fighting. We are fighting a system of corruption, right? That want us all to be enslaved, right? To make sure they break the men down. And we already know for you white guys, they were really coming after you guys, though, too. They already came after my community a long time ago. But for the white men, they were really coming after you, man. They really were, man. Because one thing that these commies, these progressives hate, they hate, they hate a conservative white man, right? That believes in Christ, and a Christian. They really hate you guys, man, big time, right? You are the only group of men that have given this system great pushback, along with us and others. But it's true, right? Because if they would have broke you, this country would have been done. This is why we have strong men that are joining the military because of you guys, right? Taking back America, right? This is the thing. We will not stop, right? We will not falter.
We will not fade in the wind, right? We are coming like a Mack truck or a tank, and we're going to bulldoze our way right through government, right? Because they can't stop MAGA. These red hats, right? This thing that we represent, which is America First campaign, right? This is we're gonna make sure that this never fizzles out. We all have a mission to keep this thing going, pushing the information out to the waves for the people, so therefore they can see, right? Right? That's why I say, remember the Alamo, remember America, man, in 1776, and how we fought the redcoats, right? Look at this, man. This is why we have a country today, which is great. This is exactly what it is. This is our third installment, right, of the what we call the Federal Reserve Bank and things that Trump is fighting against, because that's what has to go. When that day, when we see the Federal Reserve go, the IRS go, that's when you know we have won, man. Because Trump has the people, the ear and the heart of the American people. He also have the ear and heart of the military, right? And these are the greatest assets that Trump actually have. See, with these old Conrad, these old progressives, these old lying, demo KKK rats, their party is on the brink of being destroyed. And one thing that I have learned, somebody wise has said is, when the enemy is in the process of destroying himself, you just let him. You don't interrupt, you let him. And that's what they are. They're on a course of destruction. Nobody is rocking with them. Nobody believes in what they're talking about. The message that they're doing, they're still trying to convince the people. They still act like it's 2020. This is a 2026. It's a whole different system right now. Trump had to allow them to overtake, right, the presidency. They were the ones, right, that pushed out a duly elected president. Trump just let him so he can get the evidence, right? These in the auto pen, right? This is another thing, though. We're seeing more of that. Who was controlling the auto pen? Who was signing executive orders? Who was really running America? Because we know that Biden wasn't. His cognitive, memory didn't allow him. We pretty much can say, just for the sake of saying, it could be Obama, it could be anybody else that was running it with an auto pen. They have actually told on themselves as to who was running America, which is treason, ladies and gentlemen. This is another treasonous act, right? They knew who was using that auto pen, right? That is only reserved for the president, an elected president, you know what I'm saying, of the United States of America. But here's the thing, though. Biden is not even elected officially, because when you still in an election, right, and you put him in as the resident, this is where the problem is. Because all these executive orders that Biden signed, Trump had to get rid of them, because we already know they're non-void. Because if you can prove and show that the demo commie KKK rats that have overtaken an election, a presidential election, one minute you see Trump ahead, next minute Biden have all these voters, supposed to be over 80 million people, which is impossible. Because the Democrat Party, the true Democrat Party, there's not enough liberals out there. They actually believe this bull crap. There's not even enough liberals in America, right? That's going to vote Democrat, right? Without them in cheating. It's a cheating apparatus that's being shut down. They still delusional. They still think they have a right, or actually think that and believe that they're going to win the midterms. This is how delusional they are. This is how crazy they are, with no policy. None of y'all guys have ever heard anybody on the left give a policy that can battle against Trump. They're always talking about Trump. That's not a policy. This is why when they come in this room and when I ask them questions, right, they don't answer because they don't know the policies. Skamala Harris can give a policy This is no wonder she lost. And she's trying to run again and make more embarrass herself even more. Nobody ain't gonna put no real money on this woman. AOC don't have a policy. A policy of what? What does the Dems on the left have when it come down to a policy? That's what we've been asking. What do they have, right? Nothing. I have asked in this room over and over. You see the Trump derangement thing going on, right? Because they don't have a policy. They don't know they don't have anything. Trump has been bulldozing. How many times I have read all of Trump's policies? All the way down to Agenda 47 that kicked their ass. Agenda 47 under Trump kicked the Democrats' ass. Kamala Harris, none of them had it, ladies and gentlemen. None of them had it. Because if they had it, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If they really, really had it, if they had it going on, they wouldn't be in this room. If they had the midterms all wrapped up. But they are afraid. They are panicked out, ladies and gentlemen. And we know why they're panicked out. Because they don't have no effing policy. Their policy is the Trump derangement stuff. And that's old and played out. Aren't you guys tired of hearing about Trump all the time? Damn, show us the goddamn policy. Right? And stop BSing. Stop telling us how wrong we are. Right? You can't tell us anything because you don't have anything. It's so bad that Kamala Harris had to steal some things from Trump. Trump's policies, bar none, is superior to any Democrat policy, even down to Obama. I already did the side-by-side comparisons. On my other previous, you have to go and watch it. It was Trump versus Obama, right? Obama's policies cannot hold a candle to Trump. Facts. Facts, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot. They can't hold a candle to Trump. Boy, I tell you. They can't hold a candle. If they could, and if they had something, ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't be in this mess. We wouldn't be in this situation. But oh no, all they have is emotions, victimhood, right? I know so many of Trump's policies, and I know Obama's policies, but what do they know? Nothing, but just attack Trump. Answer a question with a question. All in their feelings. All soft, right? Look at them. Look how pitiful their party look. There are people that have been leaving the demo rats off of sinking ship. They getting the hell out of here. It's the Titanic. The ship is sinking, you idiots. And you want to still try to convince us? You still want to try to convince us that your party is so much better? When you ain't named one policy in this damn room. And I find that to be very rich because there isn't any. That's why. You waste your time coming in this room trying to convince when in actuality it's the opposite. You are a loser, right? That's what it is. They pay you for coming in here to be a what? A nuisance? You ain't getting under my skin. I'm over here sitting back like this because, like I said, we on autopilot. And they know it. You can't cheat. You don't have the apparatus no more like you used to. And it's a matter of time when we would deal with this propaganda media. Right? And that's the saying. The media says different to what Trump's saying. We're seeing in real life of what Trump is offering. The media, oh, he's a liar. Oh, the numbers have dropped. Oh, this other stuff. But what do you have when it comes down to a policy that is better than Trump? That's going to be the question. Matter of fact, I'm going to do my next live. What do the Dems, I'm going to talk about the modern day commies, the socialist, communist Democrats, we done already seen what the stuff that's coming out of Mon Dummy's fat mouth, right? Let's face it. We love it. I love it when this dude speaks because he shows more of his intelligence of who he really is. The guy never had a job before. He got in that job. Look at it. The New York people, man, the people that voted for him, look at it. Turning New York into, what is it? Islam and all the rest of this stuff. That's what they've been doing in these other cities. The people have moved. They moved to Texas. They moved to these red states, right? These blue states, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let them drown because the money is leaving the blue states and they know it, right? Capitalism, because the country was built off of capitalism, not communism, socialism. These ideas had to be pulled from capitalists, right? My dummy is a dummy because he has what? He has pushed out the capitalists, right? People that can hire. These people are leaving New York. They're leaving California. See, they don't want to talk about this stuff. Oh, this guy here I'm over here just chilling, watching this guy, watching Jeremy, watching these clowns come in here. They don't have no policy against our favorite president that we all know and love, which is Donald J. Trump. I'm over here chilling. They crashing out. They can call names and everything. I'm over here not phased at all, man. We walking this all the way down to the midterms. Y'all make it easy. These commies on the left, they make this ish look easy, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I'm saying. I'm smiling, you smiling, we all having a good time. It's just like having a tea over here, having a wonderful picnic outside, sunny and breezy, man. It's a beautiful thing. You think we rattled? We're absolutely not, because we know y'all don't have anything but a bunch of emotions, right? Crybaby, threats of violence, disrespect. That's what your policy is. See? That's what their policy is. Because if they really had it going on, they'd have crybabies. If they had it going on, ladies and gentlemen, they wouldn't be on my channel and all this other stuff. They'd be on the bigger things. They don't have the power, they don't have the leverage, and they don't have the will of the people. They don't have the military, right? So who you think is going to win? Transtifa? Cartel? Right? You think these people, right? You think that these people have any types of leverage? They do not, ladies and gentlemen. They do not have no leverage whatsoever. And they know this. They're trying to convince you that Trump is a tyrant, that his policies resonate with the people. Even when he won over Kamala Harris, right? They haven't had to even fudge the numbers to make her look like she lost not that bad. What was it, 249 or something? It was, man, please, man. It's sanctuary cities. They have cooked themselves on sanctuary cities. Let me tell you what the Dems, since the Dems don't want to be truthful, I'm going to tell you what their policies were. Creating sanctuary cities. Taking government set-asides and giving it to illegal aliens, right? They were trying to protect and shield these illegal aliens, right? All this pushback against ICE. People were watching the whole time, right? Because they said, oh my gosh, these people don't even rock with us, let alone protecting America. They want to protect illegal aliens, giving them set-aside programs and all the rest of this stuff, right? Going out here and warring with the police. Isn't that something? This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is a party of crazies, right? They care more about what? These terrorist countries that some of these people come from, never assimilated into American culture and society. Because the Dems were telling them the whole time, when you come over here, just vote Democrat. When you come over here, catch and release, vote Democrat. That's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. And they never thought that this ish would bite them in their keister, but it did. People haven't forgotten about this stuff. Brandon Johnson is under fire in Chicago. He's not going to make it. His numbers is so low, right? I'm talking about for the mayor. It's so low over there in Chicago, man. He ain't the only one, right? Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker is another F up. This is why his family, right? His family, because he's an idiot. His family ain't going to allow him to run the Pritzker fortune. No, not at all, because he's an idiot, right? Who else? You think Mondummy is going to deliver you? That's another sanctuary city. All these businesses, all these things. Look at how New York used to be the financial hub of the United States as well as to the world. But look at it now. It's been overran, right, by a whole bunch of Islam, right, and all the rest of this stuff out there praying in the streets. Instead of praying in your mosque, why you ain't praying in your mosque? Go to your mosque, praying out on the streets, holding up traffic. Boy, I tell you, man, this is the stuff that we didn't sign up for you coming in this country. We want you to respect America, and you do, as they say, you do what the Romans do. If you can't do what the Romans didn't do, you got to get out. And that's why I don't feel I don't have no remorse whatsoever. Because if you cannot follow the rules of America, you don't deserve to be here. And this is why the ramping up of deportation is going to escalate even more. They already got the budget for it. Just like Tom Homan said, you ain't seen nothing yet between this year and next year, right? When they're going to be coming in here, right, like gangbusters, busting them up and shipping their ass right up on out of here as they deserve, man. Which is a beautiful thing, man. Where's my applause at, right? Beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. And right here, we talk about real issues, right? I'm not worried about these trolls that come in this room, because all they can do is poke fun and call you names. They try to always get my goat, but they can never get my goat because we have the advantage. They have the disadvantage. And we always say when we are talking, right, and when they go to insults, by default, I automatically win, right? You might got to come up in here. That's what I'm saying, though. I may ask the questions, how big of a boy are you? That's usually what I say, right? Jerry says, I love how Tony triggers these liberals, right? These libtards. I trigger them easy, you know? I do the same thing they do when I get on other channels. And I just do it just for the hell of it. And you know what they do? They block my ass quick. They blocked my ass quick. He went to see my avatar. I'm out of there just like that, man. Just ask, what's his name? Santana Jones. I'm automatically out already. The mods hate me over there. They hate my behind. He ain't the only one. There's some other. They hate me. I can get blocked or banned. They hate me. Most of the time, I just get, timed out for the most part of it. They time me out for 24 hours, whatever. Oh, my goodness. They hate my butt, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I go in there and be asking the questions or whatever like that, Because that's why I say, this is the question I always have for the libtards, If Trump policies are so bad, what do you have to offer, right? What does Kamala Harris have to offer, right? That's one thing about it. When it come down to me cooking leotards, I can do it easy. Pansy boys, sissy boys, soy boys, they come in here all hot and bothered, all upset, foaming at the mouth, being disrespectful. I ain't triggered one time, but they be triggered, right? I get the best of them coming in here, trying to get my goat, and I get they goat. Because the cooking, and I cook very well, right? And I'm going to start cooking their ass right now. In fact, let me start ramping it up now. I got to build up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting motivated to get the cooking now. These are nothing but communists. These are commies posing as socialists, right? Let's start with that. They pretend to be socialists. We know it ain't, it's just one hand on the other, man, because we already know what it's going to really be about, right? We not falling for the okie doke, right? We just call you commies. Every last one of the DSA, every last one of y'all are commies. There's no world with commies in America. We got the Act of 1954 that says that communism is illegal in this country, and we won't have it at all, right? Boy, I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Boy, we got the FBI 2.0, we got the CIA, the DOJ, the HHS, all of these alphabet boys are being cleaned up, right? Being straightened out. being kicked out. These old rogue, unelected bureaucrats coming for you, coming for you. What did Trump say on day one? I'm going to be draining the swamp. These are swamp creatures, right? And anybody that bat for them and rah-rah with them, as far as I'm concerned, they are also the enemy of America, the enemy of our liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness, the enemy of the Constitution, the enemy of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of the press. Also, the Second Amendment rights. They are the enemy to these people, or to us, right? These people, and that's why they hide themselves, right? They don't show their face. Because if they did, we could know who they are. But there's a thing called an IP address that can be tracked. And it was already said before that they know where these people live and who they are. Because it comes down to national security threat that we cannot allow these individuals that are rah-rahing, pushing, trying to create riots, trying to overthrow the government. I'm talking about the presidency. That's what they're trying to do now. Because MAGA is so heavily Trump tight, right? And this is why the midterms are most important. Because we're going to be gaining seats. And we're going to override this whole wicked government system. We got a lot of these rhino asses out of Indiana. This is what the redistricting was about. We are cleaning up the voter rolls. We have access to it as well. We have shut down the cheating apparatus. Ain't that a beautiful thing? And there's nothing that these soy boys can say or do that can hurt any of us. Why am I be over here getting mad and over here chimping out or actually being triggered over some people that hide their face? Keyboard warriors, big, bag, and tough, being big, acting bad, and trying to be tough. Show if you had the balls, you'd show your face. Put your real name up. Ain't nobody been afraid of a shadowy figure posing to be somebody else that they are. All of them in here just projecting anyway. This ain't them. They ain't even about that life. Because if they were, they would be a real one and step up. I'm showing my face. Why don't you show your face? Why don't you show the people of America who you really are? Be about it. Don't talk about it. That's the thing about it. So when you come in here being disrespectful, mind you, right? We do have the mod squad already ready to go. You want to sit in here, oh, he just blocks anybody. Anybody. Boy, I tell you, man. Yeah. It don't even matter though, Acid, because I'm over here doing a great job cooking you and you soft soy boys on the left. You guys are pathetic. You need to get yourself a job and get yourself a woman. That's what you need to do. Instead of sitting in the basement, in your mama's basement, feeling all sorry for yourself. Is it Trump's fault that I don't have a woman? It's Trump's fault because I don't have a good job. It's Trump's fault because I don't have a car. If you stop hating and take accountability of yourself, you will have these things, right? It ain't Trump's fault because you decide and choose to be a loser. You either going to be a man or a winner, or you just going to sit up here and be a loser. Nobody holds a trophy up for no loser, right? Nobody give a flying you know what about your feelings, right? If you want something to change, you got to be willing to change it for yourself. Nobody owes you nothing, right? And that's what these soy boys don't seem to understand. They are butthurt because the words that coming out of my mouth, it triggers them. It upsets them, right? That's the thing about it. I'm not upset for what you have to say. Just admit it. I'm just a better troll than you guys are. You try to. I have a bigger voice and a bigger range than you guys do. Shit, skip the headset. My voice can travel anyway, right? This is exactly what it is. Look at the soy boys, man. Mon dummy, blow, I like how he said, blows George Soros. He probably do. He probably do. Maybe, right? Boy, I tell you, they don't have anything for us whatsoever. Because we can go toe for toe and tat for tat when it come down to insults, when it come down to name calling. I just choose not to do it because my position is that we winning. We have the bigger voice. We don't have to stoop down to that level, right? We know these are idiots, lack of knowledge for some of them. Some of them are straight dumb and stupid. They took the money. They took the money and they don't have a policy, right? Y'all know that microphones been in their mouths and faces, asking them why are they out here protesting? What's the policy, right? Look at it. Boy, I tell you, man. Boy, I tell y'all, man, this is what we are. They are a joke of a party. These are losers. These are idiots. Nobody rocks with these people whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they fail. You think that we sit up in here? You think that we are bothered? You think that we are upset? You guys are crashing out on the left. You guys are crashing out, not us. You got, I can't help it because you don't understand policies and politics. Because, like I said, every time I go live, I've been talking about stuff that Trump has been doing for the betterment of America. What have you been doing, right? Other than saying, yeah, Trump, he's like this pedo. And to throw out this stuff like this, man, we just shut that stuff down, man. Look at him. Boy, look at him. Right? What you talking about? Trump could never be a black person, even in college. He couldn't. A black person in college. Kurt, you are another victim. How stupid you are. I can tell that Kurt don't know nothing about Trump policies. He's like these soy boys, right, that are bothered and butthurt with the truth that's coming out of my mouth, right? Because you don't have anything, though, man. Really, you don't. Yeah, Brian said 100. You got the 100s up, right? Let's see here. We got here terrific. Oh, yeah, there you go. What is it? No, that's Terry Cohen. He said, Brian 100. And that's why the Dems are freaking out, which is true. Now, because they know they're about to lose. Yes, because the cheating apparatus has been shut down. They know it. Trump know it. He always knew it. Once you shut down the cheating apparatus, they have nothing, right? That's why they come in this room. Go in this room and try to, discredit these people. Try to make a fool out of them. I make a fool out of these fools that try to make a fool out of me. I do a better job at trolling them better than they troll me. Uneducated, right? Stupid, an idiot, a liar, a grifter, and all the rest of the stuff. Coon, sellout, step and fetch, right? All the rest of this stuff, man. And it's just so sad they don't have anything, right? The thing about it is that I've been cooking these fools for a long time, man. And that's why I can take everything they can give and much more, right? I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, man. Michael Johnson, no, he don't have nothing for me either. Neither of these people, ladies and gentlemen, have nothing for me. We cook them here on politics. They have to go to name calling. They got to go to other means, trying to convince the people. Ha ha ha. The joke is on you. You guys, they're looking at you. In my room, you are the joke. Michael Johnson, you are the joke, right? And there's others that are the joke. Acid, you are the joke, right? Nobody is listening to you guys. You are triggered and bothered and hurt because I can talk about the facts and Trump's policies of what he has been doing. what he has been doing for the American people. He's turning the system around, right? And like I said, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's what Scott Bassett said. The gold is, we have the gold. Just think about that. I love when he said it. We have the gold. They never talked about Fort Knox before, but now we have the gold. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the clutch. I appreciate you guys. We have the gold. Oh man, this is how y'all know, man. Some of you guys know. Was Scott Bassett lying, or was he telling the truth? They're gonna take it a step further because they're gonna go into that Fort Knox and run it and do an audit, break them seals, to show the American people we have the gold. Man, go for the gold. You know what I'm saying? Who is the GOAT? That would be Trump by far. Who is not the GOAT? Obama, Biden, and all them trash, garbage. We know who the GOAT is, right? And that's President Trump, man. Trump, the greatest president that we have ever had in our lifetime. In fact, Trump's face deserves to be on Mount Rushmore. I said this before. Mount Rushmore, right? Who's crushing Mount Rushmore? That would be Donald J. Trump. Donald John Trump. Face on Mount Rushmore. I can see it now, ladies and gentlemen. I can see you got George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, right? We also have who? FDR. What's that? Theodore Roosevelt. I'm sorry. Theodore Roosevelt, right? And who is the last one? Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and then there is the fifth one, Donald J. Trump. Boy, up there on that wall, boy, ain't a beautiful thing? Boy, we have his face on Mount Rushmore, man. Ain't that something? Boy, don't the live talk, they go absolutely nuts and crazy, man. And if you desecrate that monument, boy, heaven has, man, I tell you right now, heaven better have mercy on your soul, boy. Mount Rushmore, Trump. It just resonates, don't it? Because he deserves that and much more. The man that have turned this country around for tyranny, right, and destruction. That's why they hate Trump so much. Trump is an American people president, right? And all they can do is sit up here like a little sissy boy libtards, whiny sissies and softies, right? Soy boys. The thing about it, I have no respect for a soy man. Makes sense with the woman pumping a bunch of estrogen. But when the man pumping estrogen, softy, boy, I tell you, man. Ain't it a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen? Trump, right? 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 He once again, what's it? Census Sergeant says Trump is destroying the Cook CIA operations in Iran, etc. Right? Get a clue, commies. Ex-sergeant of the United States Air Force, right? Because once again, I got a lot of military people that rock with me, truck drivers and others, right? Boy, I tell you, they rock with us, right? Because we tell the truth, right? We tell the truth, boy, I tell you, man. Woo, man, I get all up. Boy, I get excited, boy. Mount Rushmore on there with Trump's face on it, man. It's going to happen, though, man. It is going to happen, man. Yeah. Yeah, Reginald, you're going to love it too, boy. You're going to like it and love it, boy. Trump on Mount Rushmore. Trump with his library, Wait till Trump have his presidential library. It'll be way better than Obama's, right? Yeah, because once they have him in silver bracelets, boy, they're going to take that presidential center down. He's going to be a lost memory, man. Take that photos down, right? Boy, I tell you, man, it's coming, man. It's coming. That's why I was showing that picture before. Silver bracelets. We already know, right? Trump and Obama knows. He's on borrowed time, and he knows this. He's already panicked out. All of the evidence of what he did against the American people. Boy, I tell you, man, Woo, man, they are all going down. You going down. You all of them is going down. Clapper, Coleman, y'all all going down. Susan Rice, y'all are going down. Hillary Clinton going down. We're gonna just keep on saying how many of them going down. Still dossier, right? Right? Look at this. Russia hoax. Overthrowing a duly elected president, which is Donald J. Trump, that we all know and love. Boy, I tell you, boy, you cannot say that this man, Donald J. Trump, is the man of the hour, the man of, I'm saying for what it really is, that have got America back on track, man. Onshoring businesses, all of these corporations, all of the manufacturing is coming home here to America. How much money in investments? Was it $8.4 trillion, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking about manufacturing, right? We're talking about logistics, right? We're talking about a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, right? Oh my goodness. And what is it? Domestic as well as international, right? Supply chain, tech companies, all this stuff is coming back here and already building the plants, data centers, right? Boy, I tell you, man, Trump, this is why he got to have his face on Mount Rushmore. And I'm a petition for it too. I want my detractors. I want my soy boys, sissy boys, and all the rest of them, man. The libtard commies, man. You don't have anything that can stop this. Just let it happen. Like Debo said, just let it happen. Just let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just let it happen. Right? Oh, man, boy. I tell you. Okay, guys, I got to get out of here, man. I got to pick up. I got somebody I got to pick up. I appreciate you guys being on Some Random Guy Speaks. Peace and chicken grease. I appreciate you. I'm out.